I'll see you guys over there. If it doesn't bring you for whatever reason, there's the link. All right, guys. So we are going to be day trading today. We have gold up. Maybe I should figure out the better way to do this. Should I make myself smaller here, I guess is the question. Let me edit this. One. Yeah, I can put myself up here. Maybe. And like do this. And then maybe lower this like that. Okay. There we go. That should have worked. Let me know if it redirected. It should have redirected you. So did it redirect? Yeah, there we go. We got everybody. Okay, cool. All right, guys, look at the Nasdaq surge up. I'm going to short the top of this range here. We're going to take a couple contracts short. We've already built up a really nice cushion on the day, and so we have room. We're at the top of the range here. All right, we just took half off. We were up about $100 there. We're up another 40, 50. There you go. All right, so we're out of that too. So here's our P&L on the day, chat. We are up $240 on the day. $240. We're going to keep trying this. We might also day trade gold here as well. We'll see how it works. What's up, chat? What's up, Ashlyn, Dope, Marty, Mike, Mar, Blaze, Sass, Chuck, C, Back, Ordered, Row, Dr. Crypto, Different, Pella, Bray, Rich, Oss. What's up, team? All right, so it looks like it worked. What's up, Street? Shouldn't he hold longer? Not if I make money doing it. Again, we're kind of scalping these moves. We haven't had any losses today yet. And we're up about $300. So maybe a little bit less than 300. We're up 240 on the day. But no losses here. Our drawdown's $3.98. So we're doing pretty good in that regard there, I think. You know. So yeah, we're doing pretty good there. Again, 398 is what we're looking at. Again, here's the Nasdaq, pump it up a little bit. Yeah, we're using Quant Tower. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. I mean, I do a mix of scalp and range trading. The reason I'm shorting up here really is because, like, I think there's a likelihood that we could go like this back down to this range. Like, look, if this trend continues, that's kind of an ugly drawn trend. But if that trend continues, it's probable that we're going to come back down. And just in terms of, like, edge, I think as we push higher and higher and higher here, the edge of us coming back down gets greater, right? Like, the edge gets higher and higher the closer to the top of this range that we get. And so I think that makes a lot of sense, right? And I think that's something that we're going to target. You know, we're going to target the top of the range. And again, it's also really easy because if we say, like, break over this, right, then we got a really easy exit. We could just sell. You know, we could just get out of the position. It's a really easy stop loss here. You know, if we cut the top of that, like, it can't just it can't go like this and us sell. But if it really rips over this and then pulls back and starts to go like that, we don't want to stay in that. We just want to cover and just get out. So it makes our stop losses really easy. It makes our exit ideas really easy. And it also enables us to have a really good edge, I think, a little bit higher edge. But also, if it breaks over it, a really easy exit from a loss. Yeah, AMC up to 540s, chat, 540s. All right, so look at this top. So we're going to run at the top. I'm going to switch to micro contracts here because I want to give it time to really work. And so we're going to start shorting the same idea here. And we're going to end up selling here and try to get a little bit better average. Very small trade, but we're going to try to play a longer term trade. We're already up hundreds on the day. And I want to save most of my edge towards the opening bell. So like the opening bell is really where I think my edge is going to play out the best. But we could take a smaller trade and maybe add to it if we get into the profit here. And then have a little bit more room to let it work. Let me see if I can draw my trend back. See, now we're trading micros here. Let me see if I can draw my trend again. See, the thing I like about Quant Tower is that it gives me the angle. Yeah, there's the angle. So I think that's a good little trend. Let's see if it works. Maybe I should put a 5-minute chart up as well. But there we go. So we're in profit. We're going to add to this now that we're in profit. We have 5 contracts now. We're at the top of the range. It is a day where we've had economic reports come out too. So we'll add more to this if we can. We got 5 contracts, micros now. But we'll size into this. Okay, we're back green. Let me exit out of this. I got too many screens up right now. There we go. All right, so we added more. We got 8 contracts now. We can kind of slowly add to this now that we... All right, we're up a little bit. Let's see if we get some more. Can y'all see my gains here? Let me try to show you. We're basically flat. I like the position, though. We did reject at the top, confirming the trend, but it's a smaller trade. Q looks a little extended short term too. Again, the unemployment filings showed up. Hot. They showed up higher than expected. Showed 243, or was it 242? What did unemployment filings show up as for jobless claims? It was Philly Fed Index showed up at almost 14. Yeah, unemployment filings showed up. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take half of this off and just lock in the profit on the day. And then we'll play around with the last half position here. Now we're up about 260 on the day. You can see the P&L here. A little bit more than that now. Just kind of slowly building up profit on this one. There we go. We'll go ahead and take another half off. And then we'll let the rest really work. But yeah, we're up about 270, 280 on the day. Unemployment filings showed up at, where did they show? Jobless claims showed up at 243 versus 230 expected. 243 versus 230 expected. So much higher than expected. We'll put this up on screen too so you can see it. All right, we've already scalped out of this. We're basically flat on the rest. We got a nice little cushion of $270 that we can play with at the opening bell here too. So the good thing is, like, building up a cushion, we're just going to get out the rest. So yeah, here's our P&L. We built up a cushion of 270 or so in profit on the day, and we've got a lot of room to take some larger swings with regular mini contracts after the open. E-mini look way stronger than the Nasdaq. I brought Burberry. Is Burberry a stock? I haven't heard Burberry in a long time. Is it really? You talking about BBRYF or Burby the stock? All right, gold actually still low on the day here, chat. So gold's still trying. Yeah, unemployment filings showed up much higher than expected numbers. Much higher. Oh, you bought a bag. Yeah, or no, that's that. I think old boy's just joking around. Yeah, so again, let me tell you, from somebody like I watch different luxury markets. And so you might look at people that wear Rolexes and think of them as like dorky or dumb or whatever for buying Rolexes. Ultimately, it's all relative to how much money somebody makes. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Rolexes can be investments. I'm not even going to say they're good investments, right? But if you spend $10,000, if you buy the right Rolex, it can and does and has appreciated over time. Like there's the rule of thumb if you're buying a Rolex is it has to be one that has a nickname. So there's a lot of nicknames in Rolexes. There's like Bluesy, there's Batman, there's Sprite, there's all these different nicknames for watches. If the watch has a nickname, it's a famous watch. It's a very well-known, hard to find watch. And generally speaking, they can keep up with inflation, right? And so what a lot of people do is they buy and sell watches because the margins fluctuate a lot. And so, like, I can buy a watch that might be worth 20K. If I buy it for 18K, I can immediately sell it to somebody else for 20, make $2,000 in profit. And if I do that 10 times in a month, that's 20K a month, you know. And a lot of people make a good living buying and flipping watches like that. But you have to know the market. You have to understand the counterfeits are getting really, really good. Really, really good. And so if I'm going to buy luxury, I'm going to buy luxury that I know generally can keep up with inflation. Now, it's a little bit different with purses, and I don't know Burberry very well. But yeah, that's one of the things. So we also have this triple top here on the trend. We do have this triple top looking thing here. I'm not trading gold. I'm trading the Nasdaq 100 futures contract. We're also going to put the regular Nasdaq up here and get ready to start trading this. Try to extend this line. I'm also going to put a 5-minute chart up here too, because the 5-minute chart is typically a little bit better. So yeah, here's the top of the range. There we go. All right, so we have this trend. Again, part of me wants to short this trend, but who knows how high the Nasdaq's going to go. I will short this. There we go. We're up a little bit. There we go. 30. We got a little bit of room now, but we'll also sell it if it gets too high. It's consolidating here. So again, I'm short one contract. We're going to play one. I'm going to cut that. So that's my first loss of the day, I think. Right, so that's my first loss of the day. We got a 3.5 to 1 win-loss ratio so far today. $230 in profit net. So we'll take it. I still think we might correct a little bit, but it's all good. Trade Evade, I think, is back and normal. I think Trade Evade's good. I guess the question is the Nasdaq a buy or sell right now? I think we're top of the trend, but I'm curious to see what other people think. Is the Nasdaq a buy or sell right now? Let me know in chat. What do you guys think? Yeah, Trade Evade's definitely an easier platform to use, and I can pull that up and trade with that some. I like Quant Tower because I'm a TOS fan. I'm a Thinkorswim fan, right? So TOS is good because it's super complex for beginners, but once you learn it, it's really nice. And Quant Tower mimics TOS a lot. Trade Evade's definitely easier though, and Trade Evade's definitely more beginner friendly for a platform. All right, so sell, buy, sell, buy, it's up more. No, not, it's still down. Buy, short the Q. I think it's sitting in your hands and play open volatility. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to play the New York Open. We'll see how it goes. Let me know if you guys like the music here. So we're still at the top of the range. Buy. Nice, because I have to get back to work. Yeah, I mean, Trade Evade you could use on your phone. Hey, what's up, Maria? Yeah, let me know if you like the day trading dedicated stream. I think we might probably just keep doing this. Unless we have, like, big stuff dropping. Where's TI at? But yeah, unless we have... I use Quant Tower and TOS. This right side account's a pretty big account on TOS. This left side is a funded account in futures. I'm gonna say buy, but I wouldn't enter here. Yeah, for me personally, like, look, these are 5-minute candles. We got too many green actions, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green candles over the past like 45 minutes to an hour. It's just too many. It's too much green action. And now it doesn't mean we're not going to keep pushing higher, but the more green we get, the more skeptical I am, I guess. We're nicely green in our equities on the day too, specifically in MU. MU has bounced back a lot. And again, we have pumped up a lot too. All right, guys, so it is now 9 a.m. Netflix reports earnings after the closing bell today, chat. So remember, Netflix reports earnings. Even if you just trade futures here, the benefit of understanding, like even if you're only trading futures, Netflix and other big tech earnings can wildly influence the Nasdaq, the S&P, and in return gold. Gold a lot of the time follows like macro markets. It's not perfect, but the reason you still want to pay attention to earnings, and again, at Beginner Trading, we stream every major economic report, every major earnings report completely live. Like every major report you're going to see from us here. The biggest day is actually next Tuesday. We have Tesla and Google earnings next Tuesday. But these earnings will wildly influence everything else, specifically Netflix as well, a really big cap stock. Netflix, I'm trying to see what weight Netflix is in the Nasdaq. What weight is the Netflix? I think the Mag 7 is Apple, Nvidia, Meta, Google. I'm trying to think of all of them. I know it's Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft. And I'm trying to think if Netflix is in there or not. I don't think it is in the Mag 7. Tesla. Yeah, so Netflix isn't technically in the Mag 7, but it's still a very heavily weighted stock. Yeah, Netflix is number 26 in the S&P 500, right below AMD. And so it's still a very influential stock. So if Netflix comes in good, market will probably run up. If Netflix comes in bad, market will probably run down. And so you just got to be careful. Yeah. Yeah, last earnings are probably really big future moves for sure. And so it's one of the reasons, even if you don't buy stocks, you should still watch earnings. Increasing price, decreasing volume. I think someone, yeah. Yeah, I am on a platform called Apex. Apex is a funded account program where they give you a demo and they test your skill with the demo account first. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail the test, you only lose like the monthly subscription costs, which limits your risk as a day trader, right? Almost all day traders lose. When I first got started, I lost $4,000 in about 2 weeks. My wife told me not to do it. I did it anyway. Lost $4,000 very, very quickly. The benefit of these prop firms is that you can get started for less. Your risk is less in the beginning. You're only risking what you're paying for it, and the base one is $35 if you use my coupon code and link. If you lose it, you're out $35. It's not the end of the world. You could still like have some pressure, learn how to day trade, but you're risking much, much less than putting up $5,000 and losing that. You know, like this is a 50K funded account, an actual funded account with them. You know, right now it's like $40 if you want to try it, you know, and I think you got to make 3K in profit without losing 2,500 first. And if you pass that test, they fund you 50K with a 90% split. So once you're funded, you're keeping your money anyway, or you're keeping most of your profit anyway afterwards. But if you lose, your risk is much less. And so they pay out hundreds of millions of dollars to their traders. They fund thousands and thousands of traders a month. They paid out over 240 million, I think, or something crazy like that. And so it really is a good way to learn. And they pay out, like, look, you can also track their payouts too. Like, there's been a lot of talk about payouts and stuff like that on Apex. But again, look, I'll show you their payouts. Look, you can track their payouts here. Check it out. So look, this is just yesterday, July 17th. You can see how many payouts they're processing on a regular basis here. This is still July 17th. July 17th. And so again, now it's back to July 16th. So you can see how many payouts they're processing. Market's still surging up here. Market's still surging up. But remember, they're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased. Understand CFTC 4.41. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. understand all this stuff. And if you want to check them out, use coupon code BT. Here's the link. Check it out. Weird question, but do you feel with your years of day trading experience, you are more hesitant on entering a trade due to discipline or more likely due to being more comfortable? Both, Phil. So Phil saying basically, like, is it easier for me to trade now, or am I more fearful of the market because of that experience, right? Because again, I've known a lot of day traders that they do a little bit of both, right? Like, so I know some day traders that are just absolutely afraid to enter positions out of fear. Adrenaline spikes. They're so scared of losing money that they just genuinely fear trading, right? Like they fear the market. They fear day trading. And then I've known other people who have absolutely no fear whatsoever, and it's like the Wild West. They're throwing out gambling trades. They're just kind of gambling their money. The better way is somewhere in the middle. Like, you have to reasonably fear the market. You have to fear losing. If you don't fear losing, you've probably never lost anything significant in the markets. The ones that have been around long enough, like I said, when I first got started, I lost thousands of dollars in a couple weeks. Like 4K was a lot of money to me. It was not fun to lose. But what it did, though, is it made me fear the freaking market. And that's necessary. And again, that's why these funded account programs are useful, because at the very least, they'll make you fear the market more than a demo account, right? And that's the goal, is to learn how to fear the market, because that's where risk management is built. Without it, again, it's the Wild West. You could lose your life savings, and before you know it, everything's gone. It's also one of the reasons the PDT rule is a freaking ridiculous rule. Like, hey, let's force a new trader to trade 25 grand for their first account and pretend like we're protecting them. It's the dumbest rule ever. But yeah. The truth is somewhere in the middle. I fear losing. I'm more selective, but once I have a good setup, I will enter it without hesitation, right? That's the ideal scenario. Like, you need to be scared of the market, but you need to be able to pull the trigger if your setup is there. And so that's the reality. Is like, I'm more likely to take a position if the setup is really good, but I'm less likely to just kind of blindly jump into a trade just to get into a trade, right? And so I think it was Charlie Munger, it might have been somebody else, who said, money is made in waiting. It's not made in trading. Money is made in waiting. And so you don't have to trade all the time. You don't have to trade every day. You got to wait for your setups. You know. I agree with Pawn. The 150K is the best value in the current sale. However, for a complete newbie, I'd recommend 50K. Yeah, I like the 50K. I think the conditions are better in the 50K. Than in like the big ones. The 150, 250, 300K, the conditions are less favorable, I would say. Truth, I lost too much to keep FOMO, but I need to learn to have experience and observe and learn. You should be willing to take positions if you can, if your setup is there. But if your setup isn't there, you need to be selective and disciplined. Okay, here's a great analogy for trading, right? And again, I'm waiting for the opening bell. We got the opening bell in 22 minutes. I'm just kind of sitting around waiting for the open to happen. We'll see what that looks like. I'm going to be day trading much larger size. We're going to try to roll this account into something good. We'll see what happens. But in poker, I'm a poker player. I love poker. Poker is my game. I really do genuinely love poker. Poker is what I played before I ever traded the stock market, because I was always a poker player first before I ever traded stocks. I love poker. Poker and trading are very, very, very similar games. And I'm going to call trading a game just for argument's sake. But it's all about waiting, right? In poker, the best skill you can have is waiting for hands. In poker, you should only be playing about 20% of your hands, statistically speaking. Like, you should only be playing about 20%. You should be playing suited connectors if you have good position. You should be playing the top range of hands versus what other people might have depending on your table position and stuff like that. Trading's the same way. Like, you should only really be taking, at least with any reasonable share size, the top 20% of setups. If it's not the top 20 of setups, you should just avoid it, or take small size. Another way around that, if you really feel the urge to trade, is to take smaller size. That's fine. Like, you saw me switch back to micros for a couple trades, make a little bit of money and then switch back to regular E-minis. And so it depends on what you're doing, but waiting for good setups is a key in poker and trading, and it's something that I can't help but reinforce here. You got to wait for good setups. I played a lot of stakes. I'm mostly a MTT, like a tournament player in poker. So, like, I love poker tournaments. MTT stands for multi-table tournaments, for those that don't understand. But yeah, I love poker tournaments. I would buy, $50, $100, $200 buy-in tourneys, online. It's just a good game. It's very similar to trading. All right, guys, so we're still at the top here. I'm going to go ahead and take one trade. We're at the top of this range. We've pushed up a lot. We've got a cushion on the day. I probably should wait a little bit more into the opening bell, but I think we're up there enough. And I think if we catch the pullback can be significant. So I think the risk reward is good. I think the accuracy rate might not be the best right now for this specific trade, but I think if it does break down, we might get a really decent breakdown from it. And so that's the only reason I'm taking this trade right now, even though, again, I think accuracy-wise, we'll see. I will just take profit fast, though, if it goes in my favor. All right, so we're about flat. We're consolidating here, too, so I think the whole market's kind of waiting for something to happen here. We're kind of at this top where we're at the very top of the short-term range. A lot of people are thinking we're going to pull back, but that also squeezes some shorts out and can squeeze some shorts out. So retracement back down to flat. It's a 5-minute chart too, so we got to be a little bit more loose with it. The only problem that I see if we look at like a 1-minute chart on the Q on the bottom right is that we have pulled back a little bit. Gold is starting to test the bottom of this range. So gold's testing the bottom here. What has Apple done today? I haven't really looked at Apple. All right, we're slightly green here on this trade. Apple's actually up today too, and it's starting to dip. This is taking too long though, chat. I'm going to cut this and just get out. It was just taking too long. So we're still very green on the day. We got a cushion. Do you think Taiwan Semiconductors will dump? Nah, I mean, I don't know. They had good earnings, I'm pretty sure, right? So TSM had pretty good earnings. They're at 177s right now. So TSM had really good earnings. Oh, wait, can y'all not hear my music? My bad here. I'm sitting here talking with no music. My music's playing in the background on my end. I forgot to share it on this one for whatever reason. There you go. Yeah. So, what's the E-mini doing? What's the Dow doing today, too? I know the Dow. So, short term, we got a really obvious upward trend. But, long term, I think, is where the edge is. On the downside, at least. Yeah, so the music's here. Sorry, guys. We got 15 minutes until the opening bell. 15 minutes. Use stop losses? Well, it depends on how you're... Like, you need to have a risk level for sure. Physical stops aren't super necessary, I would say. It just depends on the trader. Like, some traders are not going to need physical stops. It depends on the time frame of the trades, too. But I would say most new traders should be building stop losses, yes. Although I have found that 2 years dedicated to the charts every day has taught me sufficiently to be profitable. Screen time and study are essential to be consistently. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time there needs to be a reason for a trade. I think that's one of the biggest lessons. We are shorting the E-mini here. We're going to go ahead and take half of this off, lock it in, and then see if we can build up a little bit more profit from this and just kind of scalp. There we go. So we're out. So yeah, we're back up to where we were. We're up $200 on the day. Trading the 1-minute short-term trend. The reason I'm getting out here is because we're like, if the 1-minute trend's different than the 5-minute trend. So like, if you look at the 5-minute trend below me, like down here, this is a 5-minute trend, right? This is a 1-minute trend. And so the difference is you can kind of see here this. On the 1-minute trend, we're at the bottom of the range here on the S&P. Right? It doesn't mean we're not going to keep breaking down either. But like, look, here's the 1-minute trend. Same angle, same ratio. In that trend, we're on the very bottom of the 1-minute trend. So in that way, short term, we could go like this. And then go back down and kind of go like this or do whatever. But long term, I think we're at the very top of the 5-minute trend. So That's the reason we're selling down there, and just locking in that profit just in case. What trend do you guys like more, the 1 minute trend or the 5 minute trend, chat? It's interesting to see. There's a couple different ones. Again, unemployment filings did show up at 243 versus 230, which is much higher than expected. Again, what's interesting, though, is that the market did push up on these unemployment filings. If you don't know what this is, jobless claims numbers are a weekly unemployment filing report. So every week you get jobless claims filings. It's how many people are filing for unemployment week to week. Now, what the market did today is very interesting. Number one, unemployment filings. So the amount of people filing for unemployment week to week went up dramatically. So last time they showed up at 222. This time they showed up at 243. So much higher than last time, much higher than expected unemployment filings. So more people filing for unemployment. Essentially what this means is economic weakness, right? But one of the correlations with the markets is that the S&P, the Nasdaq both went up on this report. So the Nasdaq, the S&P both rose on unemployment filings coming in higher than expected. Essentially, higher unemployment made the market go up. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Why did higher unemployment filings make the market go up? The reason it went up is because the market fears inflation. And so higher unemployment means lower inflation problems, right? Less inflation problems, that is. Less people working means less people spending, and less people spending means hopefully lower prices. And that type of optimism from hopefully lower prices moving forward caused the market to go up. But the unemployment filings also signal more of a need to cut rates. I'm not a big believer in rate cuts. I don't think we should cut rates anytime soon. I think prices have gone up crazy high. Real estate prices have gone up crazy high. Used cars, used car prices have increased dramatically over the past 5 years. And so I'm okay with keeping interest rates very high for as long as we can and really bringing those markets back down to earth. And I think they need to come back down to earth a little bit. I think those markets need to correct. They need to come back down to earth. They have been obscenely high for years. Real estate can deal with a correction. Car prices can deal with a correction through high interest rates. And so personally, I think we should keep interest rates high. I say this every day. But again, a lot of people in lending and real estate and mortgages, like they want lower rates because it stimulates their business. With lesser rates, when lending is cheap, more people get loans and that helps their businesses. But I don't think we should pander to them. I think we should keep rates high, control inflation. Because once inflation starts, it's hard to get it to stop. And so if inflation spikes up to another 10% like it did a couple years ago, everybody's going to be really, really, really unhappy. And then people are going to be sitting there like, like these politicians don't care about us. And it's like, well, yeah, but most people are pushing for rate cuts, which is silly right now, I think. You are seeing increases to unemployment, though. Are you not worried about that? I mean, I think unemployment is still relatively low at 4.1%. And so I think unemployment is still low enough to not fear it dramatically. But it is something that you got to watch. Payroll numbers are still strong, though. JOLTS reports were still strong. Payroll numbers were still strong. GDP was still higher than expected last time as well, right? So I don't think we can look at just jobless claims. I think you have to look at the big picture. The government will put us all in a recession if they keep it high, unfortunately. Yeah, but we kind of need prices to correct some. And one thing that, if we start showing massive signs of a recession, sure, we should cut rates. But I don't think we see those yet. Payroll numbers still strong. Unemployment still relatively low. A week-to-week unemployment filings report, I don't think is enough to cause us to panic yet. But who knows, man? Who knows? All right, guys, we got 10 minutes basically until the market opens. Are you guys red or green so far day trading today? Red or green? Yesterday was an extreme sell-off. Today the market bounced. Yeah, for sure. And generally the market moves in waves too. This is the thing people got to understand. Like a lot of new traders will see the market gap down. So they'll see the market gap down. And so in their mind, they think the edge is on the downside. So again, let me draw this a little bit better, right? New traders will see the market. If this is the market open, new traders will see the market drop and gap down. And so in their mind, the edge is on the downside, like continuing down, right? But that, to be that honest, that's a rookie trader thing, in my opinion. I think it's better if traders have the mindset of extension, where if the market gaps down a significant amount like this, the edge is actually on a bounce back. That is where the edge lies, not on a continuation of the downward pressure. This is much less likely, right here. This is much more likely, much more probable of a rebound. And so once you start to watch for that type of extension, the predictability goes up. In my opinion, the predictability goes up. The problem is that people get a sell-off here. Like, we get a sell-off, and everybody wants to act like it's doom and gloom, it's the end of the world, and so they start betting on a continuation down, and most of the time the market just kind of goes back up, squeezes the shorts out here, and everybody just gets kind of stuck holding shorts. That happens more than anything, I would say. $400K unemployment before I even start watching it. $400K. It's at 240s. All right, guys. Nasdaq is starting to correct on that 5-minute trend like we drew here. We still got 9 minutes left into the open, but we did start to correct a little bit on that 5-minute trend. When we zoom out here, though, I think you have to look at this big picture here. Right, so excluding this short-term trend that we have on a 5-minute chart, I think when you zoom out, let me make sure you guys can see this. So when you zoom out, I think you have to look at this trend here. What do I mean by this trend? We've had a big pullback, a big drop, and now we have essentially consolidation like this, right? So like this is the longer-term range I think we should look at here, which is this is the top right here at about 20,175 on the Nasdaq. This is the bottom right around 20K. I think 20K is a pretty good option, and it's probably a psychological level too. And so this longer term range is interesting. And so if you want to watch longer term levels, this level has been confirmed numerous times here. And in that regard, we are at the top. And so, you know, a couple things could happen here. Number one, obviously, is that we could reject at the top and continue in this trend like this sideways for who knows how long. Another option, depending on liquidity, is if we break over this trend line, pull back to it, hold support, and then we start to kind of do stuff like that. That's very possible as well. And nobody knows which one. Anybody that claims to know which one, you know, it's just kind of saying stuff. But right now, I would look at that range here. This range makes the most sense to pay attention to. Again, we have the triple top. We are, you know, when we zoom back into my trend here, right? When we zoom back into my trend on a 5-minute chart, we are starting to correct exactly where I thought we would. And so this is one of those trades that I wish I would have held. You know, we talked about this top. We shorted this top a couple times, and we were correct. Look at the breakdown start to happen. It's just the shorter term trend. But we still have a couple minutes left into the opening bell. We got 7 minutes left into the market open here, chat. So we'll see how this goes. You know, we're just going to sit back and wait. I agree with your scenario, or your analysis, 2 likely scenarios. Yeah, for sure. I think nobody knows which one it's going to be. We can only speculate. My biggest pet peeve is when like day traders try to act like they know for sure, right? Like what you see a lot from day trading gurus is you see them making super definitive statements like the market's going to do this. Like a lot of the time you'll see them post videos, the market's going to crash tomorrow. You know, this is going to happen. A big correction is on the you know, is going to happen tomorrow. And then tomorrow happens and the opposite ends up happening. The market ends up ripping up 5%, 3%, 2%, whatever you want to say. And then instead of being like, yo, I was wrong, which is what happened, like they were wrong, they start to cry manipulation. They would have been like, oh, well, it would have gone down if it wasn't for manipulation, you know? And it's like, get out of here, bro. Like, look, nothing is definitive. We can only speculate, and it's all in terms of probabilities. The probabilities might be high for one specific thing occurring, but it's not 100%. And if it goes, if the less probable thing happens, the less probable thing happens. It doesn't mean it's wrong or it's manipulation or anything like that. And I think that's the mindset people have to have with trading. And I think a lot of day traders who are mostly trying to sell courses to you are the ones that act like it's definitive when it's not. Yeah, Wyckoff. Yeah, looks like a value area retrace. Hey, thanks, Phil. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man. All right, guys. Hey, we got 6 minutes. 6 minutes left. Again, my little trend worked. These are the longer term trend levels. Again, 20K and about 20,175. Those are milestone levels we're going to watch at the opening bell. We'll see how it goes, though. All right, so Next week's the big week, guys. Remember, next week is the crazy busy week where we're going to have a lot of stuff going on next week. We've got, first of all, we have just base economic data. We got GDP and PCE data dropping Thursday and Friday next week. GDP is important. PCE is very important. You know, GDP, I believe, is just a revision GDP report, right? Let me make sure. All right, let's ask AI. This is where AI is very useful because I can query anything I want very quickly here without having to look it up. I can just say, hey, what GDP report revision drops next Thursday? And AI will look it up, figure out the date, look it up, and then give me the report on what it is. Second quarter 2024 advance estimate. This reported, yeah, okay, so it's the advance estimate. Got you. All right, so the advance estimate drops next Thursday. So yeah, July 25th is when this report drops. July 25th. We are starting to pop up a little bit more. The biggest reaction might be the advance estimate. So this is going to be the most important one coming up, to be honest. Yeah, so advance estimate. All right, here we go, guys. We got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes. Let's do this. We're gonna get ready to day trade. I use ChatGPT 4.0. Yeah, I mean, you don't need the expensive one. Like I think this one's like $20 a month or something. I use GPT 4.0, but you can use GTP 3.5 for free, pretty much. So yeah, it depends on which one you use. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get ready. We're gonna be day trading live. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's at 251. Tesla's strong. I mean, again, the problem with Tesla, I think, is, you know, the problem with Tesla is this, okay? Tesla up a lot short term, right? I'm in Tesla. I hope it goes up. I want it to continue going up, right? And I'm in it right now. And so I'm saying this because I'm actually in it. And I think it's important to look at both sides. But Tesla, it's up a lot. It was at 130s back in May. It's July now. It's at 260s. That's a huge percentage. It's still red on the year, though. It also has the robotaxi event that was recently pushed back, and I don't like that sign. I don't like the fact that the robotaxi event was pushed back. Why don't I like it? I don't like it because whenever the Cybertruck was coming out, Elon would give a date and say it was the biggest thing ever, and then he would push back that date continuously, and he did it numerous different times. What I worry about the robotaxi event is that he's going to do the same thing, and that's going to negatively impact the stock. I'm worried that he already pushed it back to September or maybe October from August. It was supposed to be next month. Now it's in September. Or no, now is it October or September? He pushed it back. I'm worried we're going to get closer to that date, and he's going to push it back again, and that's going to have negative impacts over the stock, right? That's what I'm worried about short term. Long term, I like Tesla, but short term, I think that's the risk. All right, guys, we got less than a minute before the market opens, chat. Less than a minute. Be careful trading the first 5 minutes. Just be careful, chat. Let's do this. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. 10 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. We do have Taiwan Semiconductors pulling back a little bit. We got gold up. I'm going to put Nvidia chart up here on the right side too. Nvidia's up to 122s after having a pretty red day yesterday. And ding, ding, ding. There's the opening bell, chat. So there's the opening bell. The Nasdaq is what we're watching first and foremost here. We also have gold on the right side. Just be careful. We could get some volatility. So far, though, it looks like this trend is playing out here. We have this breakdown. Let's see if this trend holds. We're going to try to keep the angle here at 28. We're right at the bottom of this trend line here. Part of me wants to buy it, but it's a little bit too close to the opening bell here, chat. A little bit too close. Yeah, Cybertrucks are cool looking. Supermicro and Nvidia pushing up. Yeah, so again, we're right at the bottom of this trend line that we drew. Again, it's too close to the opening bell. Tesla pushing up to 252s at the opening bell, so gold is still consolidating. But look at Tesla here, chat. So Tesla pushing up to 252s, 253s. Tesla's making a move, and it is a heavy-weighted stock. So you can see Tesla starting to run up a little bit now. Gold is still pretty stagnant here, I would say. I'm looking at some other stuff like Nvidia. Again, Nvidia up to 122s. We're going to let things play out here. We will short this too if it breaks down under this trend, but if it confirms it, we might trade the trend. Look at that retracement at the bottom of the level here. I'm going to pull this back a little bit just because it does mirror this really well. Look at that trend still kind of holding. Nvidia is pushing up. Taiwan Semiconductor is pushing up. Nike is flying up this morning. Hey, you love to see it. We're very green in equities today. Let me put some music back on here. Yeah, what's up, Lewis? Handle Drifter. The thing about Tesla is almost always hit 1 trillion market cap short term. Yeah, so Tesla pulling back. We're back at the bottom range here. This looks weak, but again, I'm going to let the market follow up here and play out first. Nike did have a good little spike, but everything else is starting to turn red. How's GameStop and them doing today? I know we traded them a lot too. T-bill still green. Shopify doing better. All right, so there's the breakdown. We broke the trend that we've been looking at on the 5-minute chart. Nvidia testing the bottom range too here. Part of me wants to short this bounce though if we do get a bounce, but look how big this red candle is. Very big red candle here, chat. Very big red candle. Too much for me to play with. We're gonna wait. Disney is bouncing back. We bought some Disney. Tesla popping back up too. Nike still surging higher and higher. All right, so look at this retracement back up. Part of me wants to short it, but it's also such a big retracement. All right, we'll short it. It's kind of risky, but we'll play it. Big downwick that can follow through a lot. All right, so we just made about $200 playing that. We're out. Yeah. So we are up. You can see my P&L. We're up about $350 on my funded account today. Just kind of playing the retracement. What I did here a lot of the time is like, a lot of the time if we have like a really big wick forming. So here's a down wick, right? If we retrace and come all the way back up and form a really big wick, a lot of the time it's going to come back down at least a little bit. It might go up afterwards, but this little correctional move here happens a lot. And so that was kind of price action we took, if that makes sense, right? So again, we had a big up wick, or a big down wick, I'm sorry. A lot of the time when we have that big down wick, even if it continues back up, it's at least gonna fill that wick a little bit first and then continue back up if it does, right? And so that's what we took, that's what we shorted, and we covered on the filling of that wick, which you can actually see happening right now, like as we speak. Another one is occurring right now. Very consistent strategy, very consistent pattern. There's the breakdown here. Tesla's still trying to move up. We got a really nice cushion on the day here where we're up almost 400 though. Look, there's that candle wick fill. Nvidia is starting to test the 200 EMA, so Nvidia is starting to break down here too. Delta Airlines is up again today. I might take a little bit off of Delta now too. Delta's surging up. We're gonna take a couple shares. Average price is 42, so it's almost a 47 now. All right, so we're out. We covered a little bit of Delta there. Delta's still surging up, but we took some profit. Yeah, we're up really nicely today in equities somehow, even though the whole market's kind of dipping down. A lot of this is from MU, Nike, T-bill, our treasury bill holdings. We're also up in a lot of Delta. Had a good day on CVS yesterday. Disney's very green on the day too, or at least green for us. All right, so we got this resistance level right here. Part of me wants to short into it. Stick around though. Again, here's the P&L currently. Part of me was wondering if we're going to reject this level here and continue down. Tesla's over the 200 EMA and the VWAP though, and so I think there's risks in doing so. But so far back green on the day too. Still in Snowflake. Russell a buy or ignore? I'm not sure, Lewis. I think it could be either one. I'm not sure. I'm not a big Russell trader, to be honest. I know Russell is RTY. It's up a little bit short term, but it's just not really something that I'm not a big small cap trader. I'm big blue chip. If I buy and invest, I'm usually investing in blue chip healthy companies. I'm not really buying up small caps. They're just too risky. All right, Nvidia is now under. See, that short would have worked there too. That same short that we talked about when we said shorting this level here would have worked perfectly too. Unfortunately, we just didn't take it. But the same idea, you know. Nvidia is also under some pretty big milestone levels as well. Alright, so again, gold is under the previous closing price too. So gold is actually technically red on the day now. Technically red. Still break it down here. I don't know if I trust it enough. Again, we're also in Nike. Nvidia, I got a buy signal on, but I don't know whether I want to take it yet. I still see some pretty red stuff. So yeah, here's bouncing all the way back. Tesla flat. Again, here's Nvidia. Nvidia at 121s. And again, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex is a funded account program in futures. That's what I'm trading on today. Again, you can see my profit on this, and this is a 50K funded account that we're green on today. Our win-loss ratio is 3.31, 3.3 to 1 win-loss ratio, so that's pretty good. And again, Apex is one of the most legit in the world. They pay out hundreds of millions of dollars to their traders. Again, what they do is they give you a demo. The base one's 25K. They give you a 25K demo. If you can make 1,500 without losing 1,500 and follow their rules, they fund you 25K, and it's only 35 bucks to try it a month. It comes with real-time data as well, which will cost about the same amount if you wanted to just buy a demo account with real-time data. And so it's a really good way to learn futures with limited risk. I always describe it as the best of both worlds, where your risk is limited. If you lose, your risk is generally less less than $100 a month. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get between 25K up to 300K in funding with a 90% split. And again, you can get the 25K for $35. You can get the 150, 250, or 300K for about 35 to 40 bucks if you use my coupon code BT. Beginner Trading will always get you the max discount at all times. So Beginner Trading will get you the max discount BT if you use my link and coupon code. And again, you can see they paid out over 240K. Now, the futures market is very similar to day trading blue chip stocks as well. A lot of people don't realize there's no PDT in futures. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. You just don't lose that. You just risk as much less. If you want to check it out, again, they're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased because of that, of course, because they pay me money. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. We do trade off stream as well. You're not going to see all my trades or anything like that. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader, chat. With that said, though, Nike's breaking highs again, and we're in Nike. So we're up a really nice amount in our equities portfolio. I'm still in Snowflake, SNOW. What do y'all think about Snowflake long term? So again, you know, if you ever heard of ICT concepts, right? Like ICT, you know, one of their big concepts, which isn't really like, it's not proprietary to ICT. This is a concept that day traders have been using for years and years and years, right? The concept is looking for breaks in trend. You know, breaks in trend is something that a lot of traders jump on. And so one of the first steps in finding this type of thing is easily identifying a trend, right? 5-minute chart, like you can see up here, I'm using a 5-minute chart, is usually the best way. So you can kind of see a really obviously defined trend here. You know, really obviously defined trend. You got the upper range here. You got the lower range at the bottom. Essentially what you want to wait for is you want to wait for this trend to break and then some confirmation, right? The confirmation in this situation would be this red action here. And a lot of traders are going to jump on that trend break. A lot of traders, the key here is that the more obvious the trend is, the more traders that are going to jump on the break. And this is a nuance of it that not a lot of people recognize. They're drawing every trend and trying to trade every trend break. But the key is you got to find the most obvious trends. Like this is a really obvious trend. All right, so when we finally break this super obvious trend, what do you think's happening? Every trader's jumping on board this short and riding this thing down like this. And again, that's how we built up profit on the day. You know, we're up 350 on the day. If you can see this, like we're up 350 on the day because of it, because we look for that trend break, we attack that trend break and rode it up. And so I hope that makes sense, chat. Yeah, so look at that big breakdown. Nvidia pulling down. Gold is actually moving up. I think people are hedging with gold maybe because gold is actually following a lot of stuff up. Nike is also shooting up some here as well, which is good news for the sneaker market. Tesla consolidating at 250s. And again, Nike is surging up. That's good to see. Almost up to 74. Yeah, so again, we drew the top of the range, chat. So again, like, look, if you guys remember what I said earlier, okay? Remember what I said, the two scenarios were, when we zoom all the way out here, when we get a much broader zoom out here, and we shrink this a little bit, what do we see, right? What do we see? Oops, I'm messing with my trend. Oh, no. Whatever. But what do we see, chat? What do we see? We see, when we zoom out here, you see a consolidated range. Like, this consolidated range is what's playing out as we speak here. Again, the more likely scenario, as we said earlier, was that we would reject at the top of this range. And again, here's the range. Like this range right here is what we're looking at, right? Like that's a powerful range to watch. And again, you can kind of see the edge play out here where we went to the top of the range. This is the strategy that we were watching all morning. We rejected right at the top at 20.175, came all the way back down. And now the question is, right? Now the big question is, does this big support level hold? Here's 20K right here, right? The big question is, does this support level hold heading into this major milestone 20K level, right? Here's 20K, numerous support holds here, a lot of confirmation, right? The question is, does that hold? There's two things to understand. Number one, if we do hold, we might bounce back and continue in that range. Number two is that if we do actually break this low, it's really down here, but if we do actually break down underneath this level, what does that mean, right? What it means is that we might get even more volume pushed down from the range break, everybody playing that range break instead. And so you can kind of use these concepts, you know, with your own trading ideas. And so I hope that all makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I disagree, Sam. I think he can pat himself on the back if he wants, and I think it's all good. You know, I think sometimes in trading you gotta take your wins when you get them. You gotta celebrate your wins because trading can be a really emotionally tumultuous thing. And so I think it's okay to celebrate your wins when you get them. And if he wants to do it in chat, it's all good as long as he's not pressuring anybody to take trades themselves. Like, there's a couple rules I have. Don't pressure people to take trades. You know, don't force people to take trades. Don't get emotional if somebody doesn't like your trades, right? Those are the big three. As long as you can be respectful, it's all good. And again, you know, I appreciate you, Sam. I'm just saying he could be happy for his W. You know, I could actually test to see if he's telling the truth too. Let me see. Yeah, for sure. John pretty much had the same call. We both agreed it would play out in 1 or 2 ways. Right, you did agree with me. I do remember that. Yeah, you said short 486. I'm assuming you mean... What is this, the SPY or the Q? Oh, this is the Q. Yeah, so you said short 486. Back... Before the open, Backroad said short 486. And honestly, he was exactly right. So I do got to give him credit there. So look, just to prove this here, chat. Backroad said, I'll give him credit. Look. So nice work. So look. So I'm in Central Time, right? So 8:30 is the opening bell. So before the open, at 9:22 market time, he said, roll the tape, short 486 on the Q. Right? Short 486. Agree with your analysis, John. 2 likely scenarios, right? The reason I think that's a good call is because if you look at the SPY or the Q, let's put the Q up here. Here's the Q. Right around when the Q was right there at 486. So the Q was right at 486. Here, you know, right around here, he said short the Q, and that's exactly what happened. We broke down. So good call. I'll give you credit for it. Nice work. Anyways. So again, we're bouncing at the bottom of the range. I hope you guys understand the concepts we're talking about here. Pulled back to the bottom of the range, bouncing here. And this is the edge that day traders profit from, is understanding all of this stuff that I just said, where you can identify the ranges, you can analyze the levels, you can, you know, target specific support and resistance spots and profit from it. And if you do that correctly and then you're patient and wait for high edge situations, you can make money day trading. Saw a massive put wall at the Nasdaq about that level. Going to be hard to break support. Yeah, look, and again, now we're back at this bottom range that we've been talking about here. And again, the way you have to look at it is, if we hold support, we might just continue in that range back up. But if we do break, we could get a surge breakdown. You can also sometimes get fake outs where it like breaks the bottom of the range and then immediately bounces back up to kind of trap shorts. You see that a lot too. So those are things you just got to be weary of. How much are we up? I am up today. All things together, I'm up about 450 in both accounts, right? So my equities account, I'm up slightly. And my futures account, funded account, we're up 350 or so. So right now we're at the bottom of this range, so we're just kind of watching to see 20K is the big, like, I think a lot of traders' eyes are on 20K right here. So here's 20K, right? This is a big milestone level. A lot of traders are watching. $20,000. Think of the psychological aspects of that, right? 20K, psychological level, milestone level. A lot of traders are watching that spot. How heavy did you going? What do you mean? I never took more than one contract to the Nasdaq. I don't think I did. I might have, but I don't think I did. I think I pretty much made this with one contract to the Nasdaq. If on an individual account, I don't think you need more than one contract to the Nasdaq, to be honest. I mean, some traders might, but yeah, it's all good, Sam. You said you were going heavy. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'm definitely trading more active today. Right, so 1 or 2 contracts at the Nasdaq was enough. We're up like I said, we're up about 450 on the day. We might keep trading too. So look, there's 20K support level, and there's us bouncing back. S&P bounced right back at the bottom of the range too. We gotta have the setup there. Here goes that ES bull dividend or diversion I mentioned. Nvidia's one of the things that's bringing the market back right now, chat, is Nvidia is bouncing all the way back up to 120s. So look at Nvidia, it's back up to 120 40s, 120 30s. So Nvidia's rising back up here. All right, Tesla is also fighting its way back up. So again, I'm gonna put gold back up here. Like here's gold, here's Tesla. Tesla's fighting all the way back up to 250s. And so again, what we're getting is we're getting the support hold here at the bottom. Now, there are a couple things, right? Nvidia is now approaching 121. So Nvidia is now approaching the 200 EMA and the VWAP level. It's getting close. Hey, baby, you wanna come on stream? All right. All right. My wife's coming on stream.
Morning.
Yeah, so again, a couple things here. Number one, you can see Nvidia approaching this 200 EMA level right here in the volume weighted average price, this purple line. You can also see Tesla up there at 251s. So you can see Tesla at 251s, 250s. So Tesla now over it, but a lot of times these levels can reject the stock, and so it can reject Nvidia. If it does, Nvidia could come all the way back down, right? So that's something you want to be very weary of and just be very careful of, because again, it can and does happen. You know, you want to be smart and not only bet on the upside. You know, we gotta let things play out first here. Yeah. Well, thank you, Bull. That's my wife, Carol.
Morning.
She's just waking up, I think.
No, I've been up. Been up for a little bit.
She's been up. Apple is dumping down, is it really? Yeah, Apple has fallen a lot. We're in a little bit of Apple, but it's a long-term play. We're in Nvidia. You know, we're in Nike. Nike's doing better today, though. The whole sneaker market was kind of sketchy, though, is the problem. But yeah, see, we're at the bottom of this range. The big level right now, chat, is 20K. Like 20K right here on it on the Nasdaq is a level that everybody's watching. It's below us, and so I think we still got some room until we hit it, but it's below us. A lot of traders are watching it. I don't think Apple's weakness is going to drag the market down unless everything else starts to trend with us. Like if everything else starts to trend down, then that's a different story. But yeah.
Morning.
Okay, hold on. All right, love you. All right, bye. All right, guys. Carol's leaving.
Good luck, everyone.
All right, baby.
Bye. All right.
All right, love you. All right. Yeah. So Nike bouncing back up a little bit. Nike's bouncing back up. And honestly, I think the day trading stream today, like again, to put this into perspective, chat, my channel is mostly about economic data, right? So we're like my channel is mostly about economic data, but you can tell like I've been day trading for almost a decade, you know. So like I'm not saying I know what I'm doing, but I might. Know what I'm doing. I'm not saying I'm the greatest ever, but I'm definitely top 3 worst of all time, okay? But the point is, I have a lot of knowledge in day trading, and I can teach people. What I try to teach people is nothing crazy. I'm not trying to teach people to get rich quick. Like, I'm just trying to teach people general basic concepts that will help them gain an edge in their own systems and their own strategies, and I'm going to try to do this daily. But again, like I said, guys, we're coming from, like, my channel is mostly a you know, economics report channel. Like if you look at my big live streams, right? My big live streams are like, you know, PPI inflation, CPI inflation, Jerome Powell press conferences, you know, non-farm payrolls, unemployment, Fed testimony. Like we get a lot of views. Like last 2 days we got about 14,000 views. So we get a lot of views, but day trading is that market that we're going to be trying to build up soon. And so I think it's a really good first stream for day trading. We're going to be back tomorrow to do the same thing. And yeah, I hope it helps, guys. I hope it helps. And so yeah, we're going to keep trying to day trade. We'll probably try to day trade a little bit longer next week. You know, next week we're probably gonna have a little bit more volatility, and so we'll see what that looks like. But yeah, we'll keep trying this. We'll keep trying to build up the day trading aspects of it. Again, my day trading streams kind of I'm not gonna say they are lower views, but 400 or 500 people is lower views for my channel. Usually, good views is like Jerome Powell will get like 3, 4, 5,000 people watching. CPI will get 3, 4, 5,000 people watching. Nvidia earnings will get like 10K plus people watching. But my day trading streams are a little bit light, and that's an audience. Considering I have knowledge, I'm never going to sell a course. I'm never going to sell content at all. It's always going to be free. That's kind of my goal of this channel, is it's always going to be free. I'm not going to sell a course. I'm not going to sell a service. I'm not going to claim to be an expert, and I'm not going to sell or charge or have any paywalls behind content. Now, we're going to have sponsors, and if you want to help support us, check out Apex. Again, great way to help support us. There's no PDT. Check out Top Step as well. If you want to check out Top Step, I'll put this link up for Top Step up as well. Top Step is a great option. There's a lot of cool stuff that Top Step does. Also, you know, Top Step, a little bit different of a thing with Top Step, but you know, you get the 50K buying power. It's $49 a month. You got to make 3K in profit without losing 2K with 5 contracts max. A little bit different. There's pros and cons to each, but Top Step, you know, very reliable funded account program as well, as is Apex. Great options if you want to check them out. I'll put the link up for Top Step as well. Again, they got 50K, 100K, 150K. I think once you're funded, you know, there's a little bit of pros and cons with Top Step and Apex. But again, if you want to check them out, here's the link. If you want to check out Apex, here's the link for that. You can use my coupon code BT. And when will you graduate towards intermediate trading? I mean, I'm not a beginner trader. We're called beginner trading because we're a resource for traders, right? We're a resource for new traders to help them understand economics, trading, markets, day trading, swing trading, investing. Like, we're just a resource for traders. That's kind of how we look at the channel, right? And that's what the channel has grown from. Well, it was really cool. I want to show you one more thing, and I know we don't have that many people here, but what was really, really fun was this. Like, look at this comment. This comment was really dope to see. Like, look at this. Like, listen to how much my voice changes. And it looks like they changed their comment a little bit. But this person here said, look at this comment. They said, like, look. Like, let me show you guys. So this comment said, wow, you look, you can see it. Wow, you start from this and get to where you are now. This gives hope for a new trader. Thanks for keeping the old's gold video, man. Like, basically, you started from this. If you look at this video, look at how old this video was. This video was from 8 years ago, 7 years ago, right? Like, look at this 7-year-old video. Like, listen to it too. I'm gonna mute the music. Like, listen to this video. This is one of the first videos I ever posted. Listen to how my voice is different too.
What's up, traders? So today I only entered one position.
Look at this old video.
You know, I've been watching IDXG for the last day or so.
I had that customer service
voice.
20-cent
range, and now it is up to the 80-cent range. And so yeah, this was my one trade for the day, a profitable trade, which I'm happy about. And so yeah, you can see here, it broke out previously in the day, and you know, it consolidated pretty well above the VWAP. And so my plan was to get in at the highs and ride it up, possibly till it gets rejected at the $1 mark.
That customer service voice.
I got in at 82 cents, and I rode it up for a few minutes and exited, I think, at the 88-cent point, which was nice with a $60 profit. I could have held it a little while longer. I think it might have gotten up to the 91 or 92 cent range,
yeah,
but it did eventually break down. And
look at this video, man. This is my old video.
It was a nice exit.
Believe it or not, this type of video is what grew my channel. This is what grew my channel long term.
Proud about was I made a good call on COOL. You know, it eventually broke
what I
down
did
to
was
around the 460s point, and
yeah.
you know, I thought it looked like a good short. You know, I just want to invite everybody to come to our free day trading chat room. That's actually where I made this
My
call
accent
on
has changed too. My
COOL.
country accent was
I'm not
definitely
trying to
heavier
brag.
back
I'm
then
just
for sure.
happy that my plays have been working, my trade ideas. And so, yeah, you can see here I said cool looks like a good most of the day hold going short. I think it'll get down to the 450s. And if you look at the bottom left, you can see that's exactly what it did. Eventually, it broke down for a nice 50-cent
Yeah.
move into around the 460, so it would have been a good call. I never bought it. I never got in short. I
Top
was
3
too
greatest
nervous and
call ever right
apprehensive,
there.
but it would have been a nice $250 gain if
Yeah,
I got
somebody
in with 500 shares on my small account. But you know, most importantly, my trade idea worked, and which means I'm thinking correctly, and I have good trade ideas at least sometimes, and so I'm definitely proud of that.
top 3.
Anyways, guys, this was my trade. I make my exit in IDXG right here for a nice $60 profit, $80 up for
Sure
the
trader,
day.
man.
If you want to keep watching these videos to see how I do with my small sure trader account, make sure to like and subscribe.
Look at this. Look at this outro. Yeah, so somebody commented on that video the other day. It was really fun to see. Again, they commented something like, it's crazy to see how much your channel's grown since then. And again, those were the channels. I used to upload those videos. Eventually, I lost all of that money. All of the money in that account just went gone. This is why I preach small accounts, prop firms, stuff like that, is because most day traders do lose. And I lost all of the money that was in that account. But I gave up trading for like a year straight. And then, but people kept watching those old videos, and, you know, over time, my channel just grew. And eventually I came back to it because I saw the growth. Like, I started getting hundreds of subscribers from those old videos. This is before anybody was really doing it. And it made me come back and build a channel. And now here we are, you know, millions of views later. Now my channel's got 11 million plus views. We got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or at least over 100K. So it's been a really fun road here. But hey, love you all. You'll have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow bright and early. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see. We got some earnings that drop tomorrow. Specifically, we got what earnings drop tomorrow? Netflix earnings this evening. Pay attention. Netflix earnings this evening. Tomorrow we have Amex, Halliburton, Comerica, Regions Bank, and a couple other ones tomorrow. So be back. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. How did you change your voice? Honestly, what it really is, like, my voice didn't change. That was just my customer service voice. Like, I could kick that on right now. Hey guys, so yeah, today when we were taking this trade, I really wanted to take this trade today, and now, you know, I did make money on it, so I'm really happy about that. Like, that's just my customer service voice. At the time, I was actually managing people's benefits at United Airlines as like a benefits manager is what I was doing for work. And so that's my customer service voice. Again, you got to understand, it's intimidating being on YouTube. Right? YouTube's intimidating. And so it's very intimidating at first. And so you're not comfortable. You talk in a customer service voice. Eventually, now that I've been streaming for years, I could care less what people think. They can make fun of me all they want. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, we do well here, so it doesn't freaking matter anymore. But hey, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. This is my real voice, if you can't tell, you know. But again, customer service voice. You know, you got to kick it on every now and then. Yeah, y'all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow, guys. I'll see you guys later.